Hi, my name is Laura Omidvaran, and I'm a dietitian here at Lovelace Westside Hospital. I've been with Lovelace for about 28 years, and my favorite thing to do here at Lovelace is to meet our community members. We're going to talk about managing stress and how that can help us prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Now, you might wonder, what is the link exactly between stress and diabetes? Well, we know that when we feel stressed, it can change our body chemistry in a way that makes us more likely to get diabetes. But unfortunately, we also know that when we're stressed, it can cause us to act in unhealthy ways. So we're going to talk a little bit about knowing what causes you to feel stressed, what situations make you stressed, planning how to cope with them, and then learning to say no to things that you don't want or need. So let's talk about identifying how we feel when we're stressed. When we feel stressed, we might feel angry, annoyed, anxious, confused, sad, worried. It kind of is a lot of different emotions we might feel when we're stressed. Physically, we might also have an aching head, back, or neck, a racing heartbeat, tight muscles, or an upset stomach. When we feel stressed, these are the things that we will often do. We might drink too much alcohol. We might start to forget things. We might put off doing the things we need to do. That procrastination thing that we sometimes get into. We rush around maybe without getting much done. That headless chicken feel. We might sleep too little, too much, or both. We might turn to smoking, taking too much medicine, or working too much. Also, we might make unhealthy choices in our eating or drinking. I'm stressed. I don't have time to think about eating. I'll just pull through the McDonald's drive-through really quickly and get a Big Mac. We might slack off on our fitness goals. When we're emotionally tired from stress, we often think that we're physically tired. So when we get home from work or from whatever we've been doing all day, errands, we might think we're too tired to exercise. Often I tell people, take a walk just to the mailbox and back and see if it's actually physical tiredness that you have, or is it emotional tiredness from our stress. We also might spend too much time watching TV or videos or using the computer when we feel stressed. That screen, whether it's our phone or the TV or the computer, it's really tempting to kind of tune out the stress by looking at a screen. Now let's talk about some ways to reduce stress. What we want to do is we want to acknowledge that there's no way to get rid of stress completely. In fact, our lives would be pretty boring if we got rid of stress completely, right? But we do want to talk about ways to make it less stressful. So here's some things to do to reduce stress. Ask for help. Feel free to ask family and friends for help. I always say, people don't know what you need unless you ask them. And if you think about it, a lot of times we feel badly or we start an argument or anyway, it's a base of conflict a lot of times because we often think that people should know what we need, but they don't. We really need to be verbal and say, I'm going to be really busy at work this week. Can you help me by making dinner on Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Or can you be in charge of the grocery shopping this week? Whatever it is you need to ask your loved ones because they really want to help you. It's just that they can't help you if they don't know what you need. Another way to reduce stress is to be tidy. Keeping our things in order really helps because when you walk into a chaotic room or you look at your chaotic desk, it doesn't really help the stress level. It makes it worse. Get enough sleep. Shoot for 8 hours a night. It may not be quite that, but if you shoot for that, it's a good goal. Have fun. Make time to do something that you really enjoy. Go for a walk with a friend, read a book, do something that makes you happy. Another way to reduce stress is to just say no. Learn how to say no to things that you really don't want to do or some things that you don't really feel you need. Know yourself. This is a really interesting one because you are the best person to know what situations will make you feel stressed. And you're the best person to put a plan in place of how to avoid those situations. Make a to-do list. Having a list and being able to tick stuff off when you're done is a really freeing thing for the mind. Of course, try organizing it so you have the most important things at the top of the list so that if you don't get to the bottom of the list, it's okay because you finished the things that are most important. Remind yourself. Use notes, calendars, your phone, whatever works for you to remind yourself of things that will help reduce your stress. Set small, doable goals. When we're looking at things that seem overwhelming, like losing 100 pounds, that seems like so much weight to lose. But if you set it up into smaller, more doable goals, I'm going to lose 2 pounds this week. Or I really want to run a marathon before I turn 50. That's really lovely, but it seems like such a huge goal. So think about how you can break that up into smaller, more doable goals. Solve problems. When you have a problem, try to solve it promptly. Because even if you think you're not thinking about that problem, you are. It's in the back of your head. So the quicker you solve it, if it's possible, the better off you're going to be. Take care of your body and your mind. If you're taking care of your body and your mind, it really helps you deal with those moments when you have excess stress. Now let's talk about some healthy ways to cope with stress. Love this sticker. It says, "It's fine, I'm fine, everything is fine." And you can see she's drying the dishes and all that water's spilling out of the sink. Don't you ever feel like that sometimes where you're going around telling everybody, "It's fine, I'm fine, no problem"? Let's talk about how we can deal with those moments. So the first one is count to 20. When we stop in the midst of our stress and we silently or loudly, if you want, count to 20, it gives your brain a much needed break. It allows your body to kind of slow down and relax. Breathe. When we're in the midst of stress, we often forget to breathe. So that counting to 20 will help us breathe, but you can also just make yourself breathe. Something that's really good to do is to stand and put your hands above your head and just take a really big, deep breath because it gets all into your lungs. It makes you feel really good. And then blow it all out really loudly. Soothe yourself is another way to cope with stress. Think about what will make you calm down. Go get a massage. Take a hot bath. Have a cup of tea. Put on some really calming music. Whatever it is that works for you, try it. Give yourself a pep talk. Say something really nice. Think about if it was your best friend that was going through a lot of stress at the moment. What would you tell your best friend? You tell your best friend, don't worry, there's no rush. Take your time, take a deep breath. Whatever you would tell your best friend, tell that to yourself. Try some ways to relax and try to make it a habit. So try relaxing at least 10 minutes every day. And this might be some different things. We all have different ways to relax. Think about sitting down for 10 minutes and listening to some calm music. Or maybe laying down in a dark, quiet room so that you can relax. Think about relaxing your muscles. So a lot of people like to do this from the bottom all the way to the top. So you would start with your toes and tense your toes up as tight, 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 tight as you can, and then relax them. And then tighten up your calves on your legs. Tighten, 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 and then relax them. And move your way all the way up to your body. And what that does is it helps relax all of your muscles. It also helps us be more aware of our muscles and when they are actually tense or if they're relaxed. Stretching. Stretching is a really wonderful thing to do. Yoga or just stretching while you watch TV or while you're reading a book. Those are really important to do for our bodies, but they also help us cope with stress.